Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to the channel of Antagonist Gaming with Metaphor Refantazio. We are in Martira. Tomorrow we are heading out to go track down Heismay.
What do you want to do?
We have one activity left to do, and I think what we're going to do is we will talk to this spirited dude. He's got like a bungee jumping thing we can do. So he's just like a dude in a regular outfit, like green vest and shirt and some like black pants.
Now what am I to do?
He's a Roussant guy. He's got like short black hair. Absolutely terrific thing that's happened. Kidnapping people. It's mad it is. The city's in a hell of a spot right now, but we can't give in to fear. Times like this mean you can't hold back, so you may as well jump headlong into the canyons. With a rope, of course.
Worth a try, yeah?
You're free to take the challenge if you want, but you'd fare much better if you had some courage, though I suppose there's no harm in trying. Take the plunge. You must first believe in yourself. You will return a braver man indeed. Come now, test the strength of your will. If I jump from this height, it will raise my courage. The fee is 250 reefs, so I'll say sure, I'll do it.
Good.
Huh. That's the spirit, but you think you'll have the spirit after coming eye to eye with the bottom of the valley? So it's literally a bungee jumping thing. There's like a wooden arch with a rope attached, and then like a board that goes over the cliff into the valley that the gauntlet runners in, and we're gonna jump off that. So, you sure you can handle this? I can see your legs trembling. But I suppose you can't turn back at this point. Good luck, I mean it. Alright, looks like everything is set. Well then, get ready. The die's been cast. My fate is set. So, and it shows like a point of view of our main character staring into the valley as he jumps down. What's that? He dove off with his back to the ground? Oh, but he's falling surprisingly gracefully. And then we come back up. Wow, impressive. I enjoyed watching that. I want to give you something to make my day. Go on, take it. A foreign coin, I guess. I sense that jumping off such a high place increased my courage. I got 4 points of courage. Courage is like the takes the most points to level up, so. Gallic and I discussed the test of courage as we made our way back to the others. And I went up a couple hundred ranks.
Time marches on, and the age of a new king draws nearer.
Is it finally time?
Today's the day we depart. Everyone's already headed for the Gauntlet Runner. You ready? So we can head on down to the Gauntlet Runner and get ready to go.
What were the gods doing?
So we'll get to go to the round table.
Aha! I've been waiting. Let's go sniff out that bounty, shall we?
I'll say route map. So
Let's move.
Let's head to Heismay's hideout. The giant sandworm's nest will be next.
This place
So we'll
you
head
would
there out.
pursue peril.
Considering the distance, we'll need to camp along the way. Are you sure you're prepared? I'll say let's go.
Tally-ho then.
There he is. Alright then, we're off then. Let's take her up to full throttle, so hang on to something.
Trusting the advice of Morris, Barden's right-hand man, the party takes the Gauntlet Runner towards the giant sandworm's nest. They could not know what they will encounter here, nor that it might be only the beginning of their trials.
What to pick?
So let's see. I can level up courage with scroll, but actually it's not what I want to do. I'm gonna go to the bookshelf. Looks like you're either the New World Travel Diary or Pride and Persuasion. I'm gonna do Pride and Persuasion. The book outlines useful conversational techniques for convincing others. I'm in the middle of reading. Mira's probably left that here. Let's take it over to the window if you want to read it together. If I read the book, I'll gain more elements. Shall we spend more time reading this book? I'll say yes.
What's that?
But just like before, we're sitting in the windowsill. Apparently the book teaches you ways to ensure others will agree with you. The next part reviews some basics. Even if you make a flawless first impression, as a discussion progresses, the other person may erect an emotional wall and start giving the cold shoulder. No matter what you say, they'll remain unreceptive. In these situations, issue a challenge. You must shock others You must shock their senses to break down their walls. Shock their senses, how would you go about doing that? Stare them down, pretend to cry, or scare them? I'd say... scare them. Maybe I'd scare them. Oh, I get it. The basics said to find their weak points, right? So I guess you could imply that you know their weakness. I feel like paying close attention to the art of persuasion has increased my element.
All right.
I get 4 points for that. Inches ever closer to the next level. Getting someone's agreement doesn't seem like it would be too complex, but there's actually a lot to consider. There's still more left to be read in the book. I'll pick it up from here next time.
Come look at this.
Ahoy, you lot aren't going to believe the view I'm seeing outside. It's hitting the brakes. I'm hitting the brakes.
The gauntlet runner comes to a stop at the midnight sun sands. The grandeur of it stirs something in each of them. Could a creature this large have truly existed? Or is it an oddity shaped by the sands? Another truth lost to time.
What in the... is that a giant sandworm husk? It can't be. It does resemble a giant sandworm, but I've never heard of one growing to this size. So it looks like it's the ruins of some kind of a massive cruise ship or something.
Indeed.
But it's quite overgrown and decrepit. A large beast could be carved into a great many servings. He's so large, you're considering how to eat it, aren't you? And they're standing on some sandy... and there's like a mix of, looks like water, blue sand or water-looking sand, and then regular white sand. You're considering how to eat it, aren't you? Come now, your attention is focusing entirely on the wrong thing. Cast your gaze downward at his feet. The sand beneath, I'll say. Oh, this is more interesting. It's just... The husk is more interesting. Listen to me, that white transparent sand, it's like glass. The glass you've seen in the shop from Grand Trad or within the Grand Cathedral made with magic, though a laborious and rather expensive process. So you're saying that the glass here was made naturally somehow? Not quite. For how could that be? For that to happen, this whole area would have had to be hit with a particularly eyebrow-scorching burst of intense heat. Oh, intriguing. Perhaps an event of great importance once occurred here, the details which we're not privy to. At this point, we can only venture assumptions and guesses, but I dare say this spot is warranting further research. I'll just do some quick jotting in my notes.
Still, though...
The sand here is rather pretty. There's a dreamlike sparkle to it.
Yeah.
Truly, stumbling upon its sights like this is the real pleasure of traveling. Certainly took my mind off our forthcoming bounty hunt. I feel like my wisdom deepened slightly after taking in the fantastical view. I get 4 points of wisdom.
Hail!
Are you content with your foundings? If so, I suggest we make our return.
Let's go.
Perfect. I've just finished my drawing. Take it, lad. I trust that it will deliver it to appreciative hands. All right, then. Last one. Back to the runner. Get settled with kitchen patrol. How childish. If it's a contest you seek, then consider the challenge accepted. On your mark, 3, 2, 1.
Huh?
Hey, hold on a minute. I don't want kitchen patrol, Stroll says. Midnight Sun Sands drawing.
Well, I say.
Oh, now this will not do at all. Gauntlet runner incoming. She's a stylish one, though, I must say.
Hey!
Ahoy, crew, I hereby challenge you.
Hey!
Pink gauntlet runner. Hey, that always sounds familiar. Hurry up. Oh, now. Before I use my cannon to punch a hole in this heap, she leaves us no choice.
All right.
We don't have much of a choice here, Wilson.
What?
They're already climbing onto the deck from the opposite end. Come on, we gotta go. You ready? And it's Katharina.
So it was your runner. I thought I'd seen that craft before.
Katharina? Why are you in a gauntlet runner?
'Cause I'm in the running for the throne, of course. Isn't that why you're out here? I'm sorry, but the throne will be mine. I can't afford to lose. Not when true change is at stake. Here and now, nobody gets off easy. Not even you. Now let's do this, fair and square. Have it!
I don't think she's thought this through. But I guess we'd better put our dukes up. I know we've
Let's
got
go.
history, but we can't afford to let her beat us.
Scour!
Okay, don't get sloppy.
Are you prepared? Hack and slash!
I missed with my cyclone attack, but Stroll did hit.
Nice one, Captain.
Nice! Oh, shards of ice!
She resists
freedom of
ice,
a
I
wanderer.
guess.
Looks like we can't brute force through this one.
Katharina the bounty.
Wind! No holding back!
She's pretty weak to magic as long as you
die
don't know
hard.
that she resists.
Is that all? I can't lose. The Parapus are counting on me. Come on, then.
Only a flesh
Meteoric
wound.
fist, she does like a fist combo.
This is a joke.
Meditation, she heals herself a little bit, but it's not going to be enough to make
Justice prevails. Not this one. Huh, take this! Worthy
nothing.
foe after all.
I won't hold back!
And our magic quickly
You have it
makes
enough.
quick work of her.
Even in a hand-to-hand fight, I can't win. I can't take this. This frustration.
Satisfactory.
Heroes leave.
Not bad at all.
Okay, good. That might be just what I need to. I'm gonna give our protagonist here some more magic.
Nice. I feel stronger already.
I shall strive to use this power wisely.
And we go up about 200 ranks for beating her in the duel head to head.
Damn it all! I've lost.
Well, unbelievable. Well, it turns out you're a real force to be reckoned with, Will. I'd say you too.
Right.
You're quite the force yourself. Of course I am. You even realize how much I train. But I'll say something about that power of yours. I've never seen anything like it. I don't know whether to be shocked or awed. And yet, here we both stand together again. Tell it true, I was surprised when I saw you at the opening ceremony. I never knew you had kingly ambitions. I'll say, it's complicated.
Hey,
There are some complex circumstances having to do with that. Long story, is it? Well, I'd ask, but maybe now's not the time, eh?
If you want mine.
My aim is simple. I want to help the Parapus. We're a poor lot, generally speaking. Not a lot of options for work. If there's any to be had at all, a good lot of us wonder if we'll ever even be able to afford our next meal. Not something we've got in common with other tribes. I watch my tribe struggle in an endless cycle of misery, and we can't even break out of it on our own.
What we have here is
Now that anyone can wear the crown, I'll put my life on the line to make it my head that does. And once I do, I'm gonna put a bounty on every rich and greedy bastard that this country's ever known. Plan's not half bad, no. We knock them off their mountains of money, and we use that to raise the
oh,
poor.
certainly.
Everyone will be working together to bring in those bounties, and the one that gets the riches, and the ones that do get riches and glory besides. So I can say it's not a bad idea. That's kind of extreme. Or how will you judge this? I'm gonna ask her how she's planning on
about
judging
that.
this. But how is it moral? How will you judge what's right and wrong?
But come on.
Well, that is for the king to decide, isn't it? I never asked about the specific details of this bounty plan, so I don't know exactly.
The truth is,
There's this Clamar who's been sort of the brains of the operation, real brainy type, but he's nice enough. He's the one who suggested I take the throne, said it would benefit my tribe. I should take a crack at it. He's the one who pushed me to enter the race. He doesn't want people making fools of the Parapus. He shed a real tear for us. I suppose not every Clamar is rotten to the core.
I suppose.
Tell me, what are your plans if you win the crown? Say, I said, I'll tell you if you win. I'm willing to tell you if you manage to beat me. Is that how it is? No, I really want to know. I'm gonna make you talk, so you better be ready next time, Kay? And I'm not yielding either. The future of the Parapus is at stake. I started with nothing but the clothes on my back, and I'm only where I am today by the strength I've earned and the blood on my fists. Now I'm ready to take on the world. I sense Katharina's spirit of rivalry and her faint faith in me. Rank 2.
Never felt so alive.
Crawler Enlightenment. So crawler classes are
See you
now
soon,
cheaper
I
to
hope.
study. Well, I'll be
And
seeing
then,
you. Don't you take a beating before then, because I plan to be the one who delivers them that promise on that promise myself. And I got 1150 magla from the
The
conversation.
Gauntlet Runner takes repose at an encampment as the sun sets along the sandy horizon, darkness settling in. What creeps through the sands outside in the night is unknown to the party as they take their well-deserved rest.
Getting real chilly.
Falkenberg stretching. Also talk with Eurus. Hello, lad. Your own preparations going smoothly, I trust? No need to worry for our sakes. We're fully prepared for this sand flash. You know, my boy, you've got a look on your face like you want to take care of the runner's reactor. How about it? Studying such complex machinery, why, I'm sure it will boost your observational powers by leaps and bounds. Probably. That is, indubitably. Carefully inspecting machinery might hone my wisdom. Do you want to help Nearest make his rounds? I'll say I'll help him out.
Thank you.
Oh, glad to hear it. Much obliged. So we're in the engine room now. You've talked about how the runner works before, right? How about I give you a little brief on the fuel system? Remember how there was a crystal over there? That's the core that needed to make the runner work. Might be obvious that crystal's chock full of magla, of course. The more you push the runner, the more magla it uses. As long as you maintain it properly, you'll never have to replace it. Though, if it's as big as the one Luis has, you may need to change it out every so often. Really using it for flight means he's already expending its energy far beyond reasonable limits. No amount of crystals will be enough if you're responsible about it.
Spare a moment?
Though that said, you want to be very careful not to overwork the machine. I'll say I can't cut corners then. Wow, no room for cutting corners, I guess. I should say not. I'm counting on you to do it right, lad. After all, if something breaks, we're all scuppered. Personally, I'd rather not waste power too frivolously. Studies have shown that overusing the crystal can be awful for the environment. If you treat these like Luis does, just using them up and tossing them away willy-nilly, then you're bound to leave all sorts of distortions in your wake. That's why I'd prefer not to rely solely on crystals. I want to develop a way for a gauntlet runner to fly on their own power, and to take that technology even further. Technology isn't something to be hoarded and monopolized. It's always been meant as a tool for public good. And I'll say that's a great sentiment. That's a great sentiment. Of course it's great. I wouldn't settle for less. No fun in keeping these marvels to ourselves anyway. What? Gauntlet runners soaring through the skies, teleportation magic. I want nothing more than to see this technology spread like wildfire and make everyone's lives a little easier. Though I haven't a clue how to achieve flight yet, much less teleportation. Boggles the mind why the blasted thing sees you as some sort of key. All the more reason why the direction we go is all up to you now, chap. We're lucky to have a captain capable of such magical flibbery flappery, so I'll say... I guess so.
Sure.
I guess you're right. If I couldn't use it, then our travels would be all the more, well, roundabout. Quite frankly, asking you to pop us hither and thither is an imposition, so I'm glad you're such a good sport. Why, if it were me, I'd teleport and not one would follow. That you seem to have a monopoly on this power, and no one's raised even a pip of complaint, speaks to your virtue. Standing tall, guiding this merry little band, you feel like a natural-born leader, and I'm sure the others would agree with this sentiment. Got rather chatty there, didn't we? But the hour is still young, so while we're here, why not inspect a few more spots? I feel like my wisdom has been polished by our
All right.
I spent some time with Neurus in the engine room inspecting every nook and cranny. And I got a good chunk of magla.
Time marches on, and the age of a new king draws nearer. The Gauntlet Runner quietly comes to a stop before the giant sandworm's nest. It is the day that the sleep-inducing sand flash dances in the sky. Their target is Heismay Noctul, a villain still unseen, who has caused the woes of Martyra. Will they successfully claim his bounty to great fortune?
now we're at the sandworm's nest. It's like a huge rock formation.
This
with
weather
a
should have all the
cave in it.
sandworms conked out.
Speaking of which, what exactly do they look like? I only got a glimpse of the lava. And cooked at that.
As tube-like as any worm. They grow quite steadily in their lifetime. It's the tremendously large ones that end up deadly threats.
Ugh, I don't even want to think about it. What kind of man would want to live in a den of those things? Did you hear that? Just now.
Beasts, and not just one. Should they not be asleep?
Hey, what's...
So we see a huge worm pop up, and it opens up its like mouth. It's got like 4 tongues that have teeth on it, and it's got a human face with 4 eyes and a large green and bluish purple tongue, and then it's got several horns coming out of its forehead and a little bit of hair. It's a human, all right, and then its body is like a blue and orange worm.
So that's it, eh? But what's going on? Did we get bad information?
That's no sandworm. A horror like that could only be...
A human? We're not getting away without a fight!
Damn it! We can't die here!
Hey, this isn't what we heard about!
What's
going on?
Come forth, royal soul! Scour! I shall vanquish evil, hack and slash!
But let justice prevail!
Hulkenberg got them right in the
Fight his power! Still here?
And it shrieks, goes under the
It
sand.
went underground! I think we managed to drive it back!
And it jumps out of the sand and right at our party. And yep, it swallowed us. We are now inside the belly of the worm. And it looks just like you'd expect. It's gross. We've got, you know,
What?
the walls are beating because they're, you know, it's a living thing. The ground is red and squishy because it's like, you know, got blood and stuff in it, so all the tissue is red. What's this place? That human came right for us and then
tell me.
it swallowed us whole. Wait, does that mean we're inside its body? Eaten by a giant sandworm, though Gallic is right, this is no worm, 'tis a human. I would have fought 1,000 humans before I ever imagined I would end up in one's stomach. Been a long time since I've heard that, since I've had visitors. Well, make yourselves at home.
Huh?
It's an old dude. We have company. How long have you been down here, old man? Is there a way out? Oh, places to be, eh, mysterious old man. Try giving that lump just there, a big old wallop. It's like a... it's like some kind of like gross living thing. If you hit it, the valve that keeps the gut shut will open right quick. Then go straight on and you can get out, well, through the back. But mind the guts. The digestive juices in there will make short work if you melt it right then. That would be regrettable. In other words, we have to find a way through before we get digested. If we're working on the time limit, we can't afford to make any mistakes. Let's rest before we get this guts.
Truth be told.
The old beast's eaten lots of treasures in its time. If you spot any its belly, grab them on your way out. Not every day you get swallowed by a sandworm. There's riches in here, but once you leave, there's no coming back. Can't tell you how many folks like you got digested just because they couldn't leave well enough alone. So don't get greedy. By the looks of it, you've been here for many years. If you wish to escape, come with us. A kind offer, but I'm afraid I'll decline. I'm a bug lover, you see, and I still have so much research to do in this giant sandworm. So he's like sitting at a table. He's got a bunch of stuff laid out.
Nice find.
We're in like the
Looks like it could
sandworm's
be useful.
mouth.
Okay,
Got
so
plateau here, so we'll save. Giant sandworms.
Yep.
Insides. Attack this, whatever this thing is, and it opens up the guts.
Let's go.
If there's anyone who has played any of the various versions of Zelda Ocarina of Time, you might know the dungeon inside Jabu Jabu's belly. This is exactly that same type of dungeon. There are more important things to worry about right now. Take a look. The path to the right has a suspicious-looking swamp, where the path to the left is filled with monsters.
Is this?
Are all humans like this on the inside? Kind of looks like we've no choice but to take one.
Let's hurry.
In any case, we have to go through here. Will you lead us up the way? Lead the way. What was that, Romina? You don't think it's trying to digest all us, do you?
Hurry.
We've no time to dawdle. We have 15 minutes to get out of here.
I think we killed them. We should be safe. Enemies ahead.
How's that? We strike first.
This is our chance. Forward!
Worthy foe after all.
Come forth, royal soul. Just one left. I call upon royal power within.
Smooth finish. Great work, everyone.
We can fight the enemies, but
I could get used to this.
time will continue to tick, even as
Sounds good to me.
we have to keep going. Oh, and
They'll
we got
need more than
ambushed.
this.
Nice one, Captain. Hulkenberg's
By
been
this
burned.
power.
She gets hit, she's in big trouble.
I'll cut through.
Hit their weakness.
Sword master.
That's your opening, Captain.
The end's in sight.
Only two enemies left.
Power
Stay
of
sharp.
heroes. Freeze.
Hulkenberg got them right in their weak
Seeker.
spot.
Win. Last one.
The
That's the
captain
spirit.
took one down.
I shall vanquish evil.
Finish them off and we're clear.
I'll cut you down.
What a finale! Keep your energy up, everyone! Hey, maybe there's something to do here. Right here!
We got another one of these like living ball things, the eyes on it that we can do. It opens up to the next area, so we move on to the next area.
So apparently,
Looks like we're still inside the belly. I can't believe this is a question, but where's the button?
No problem.
It's a worm, so I guess we just keep going. The path splits up ahead, but we just need to push forward.
But
Alas, it seems won't be so simple. Look to the left. There's a crystal. Isn't that a melancholy crystal? What's one doing here?
hurry.
This is no time to be standing still. We need to get out of here. Lead on.
Let's push through.
We've got some enemies that are pretty weak.
Weak ones. We should be fine.
If you see use for it, I say take it with you. This is bad. They're onto us.
Let's just keep going. So I push through because this is like gross. It's all very disgusting. It's all like red,
There
gross,
they go.
slimy. We got like all kind of like cellular tissue.
Let's do it.
Opens up the door. Push through. And there's like a gross kind of different colored sandworm thing that looks like the sandworms from the Tradia Desert, and it's blocking the exit. The exit's up ahead, but we'll need to defeat this guy
Ready?
first. Ready to fight? Yeah, he doesn't look like a pushover, but he's in the way. So I'll say let's
Finish
do
it,
this.
quick!
Let's defeat it quickly and get out of here. Peril.
Come forth, royal soul!
The parasitic Balmo.
Wind! Sword master! I'll cut you down!
with blade in hand.
I think the worms are weak. Oh, it absorbed my ice attack, so that's no good. And it can summon monsters to fight with it.
Scour! No holding back! Hack and slash!
By the night.
But
Oh,
I
showers
can
of
attack
ice.
the monsters
Hulkenberg got
who are
them right
weak.
in their weak spot.
Wind! Still here?
Only a flesh wound.
This chop. Since we dodged one hit.
I'll cut you down! They die hard!
Let justice prevail. Freeze.
That's it, Hulkenberg.
Scour! I missed!
Don't get sloppy, Captain.
Missed again. That's not good. Granted 2 turn icons. So sometimes enemies can use an ability that will give them extra turns. Oh, it's stealing my MP. That's not good. Stealing my HP. And it used some kind of acid attack, worked through an acid bomb at me.
No holding back!
Better watch out for
Hack
any
and
enemies
slash.
targeting him.
I stepped
Took out the
wrong.
worm.
We strive for.
Hulkenberg got them
Just
right.
one of these, like, if you remember the green slime monsters from the mines, well, there's red slime monsters in here, and we just took those ones out. So, there were purple slime monsters as well. Sorry, I forgot to describe those. The timer, I was so focused on getting through with the timer that I didn't, So we are now in the worm's butt. Good, we got here in time. Now we may finally escape the belly of the beast. I know we've come all this way, but are we really doing this? Do you have any alternative if there's no sense in grumbling? Gather round, children. This is the legend of Lord Stroll who crawled out of the arse of a worm. Hey, do you feel that? Do you smell that? Nature calls, I suppose. What? You're taking... in your chest. The other one, actually, but we have to move. You won't have children if we all die in a poopocalypse.
Damn it.
Oh, damn the indignity. I don't care anymore as long as we get out. Right, time to go. And yep, you guessed it. We are going through the worm's body. And you just see like a blurry point of view thing, and then you see its butt opening up. And you hear like farting noises as you hear. Yep. They got pooped out with the worm. That was rough, Gallagher says. We dealt it some grave internal damage. It should remain quiet for a while. This doesn't smell right. Yes, indeed. At least that scent may misdirect our foes. No, I didn't mean, well, yes, that's a bit of a stench too, but looks to me like Morris's tip was likely no good to begin with. It's supposed to be a trap. But why trap us when we've come so far to help them? They'd have not have posted the bill out in the capital if they weren't desperate for aid. Oh, and our characters have slime all over them, of course. Well, this must be his den, assuming the information about Heismay even being here wasn't false to begin with.
Even so.
Well, we've not come all the way here just to turn back now. Let us at least investigate the situation inside. So, we're now about to head into the cave. The weather's getting worse. We have to be careful in our investigation. Every region has unique inclement weather to manage. There are like there are sand flashes in Martira, for example, and they've got like a red symbol on them. During the inclement weather, magma becomes denser, causing monsters to become enraged. The magma density impacts dungeons as well. Be sure to pay mind.
It's all well.
Oh, we got a wasteland peddler.
Sure.
You lot just came out of the giant sandworm, did you? How? You get that twist up its guts? Did you twist up its guts by going wild as a box of Vesp and it puked you out?
Sure.
Well, it was a little crappier than that anyway. What brings you to a remote place like this? Can't you tell? I'm a human peddler. I was traveling for business to a nearby town, then the sandworm attacked. I'm the only survivor. And now that there's this weather to enjoy, when it's like this, monsters go berserk. Not too many out these wastes though, so I'm just here quaking in my boots. But I'm saved thanks to you. I owe you all my life. I'll sell you anything you want, whatever catches your eye. I'll take the Notebook of Remembrance, because Forget is a really annoying status effect. And that looks like I've got pretty much everything else. Fused a few of everything else. So we're gonna head into this cave here. We don't need to talk to him anymore. We've come this far. We will fight him no matter what it takes.
What do you think?
Should we go capture Heismay? I'll say let's go.
So we bring the fight to them.
This bounty will be perfect for helping us stand out at the exhibition. Let's make sure we succeed. So, Morris, we know he doesn't like us. It seems like he gave us a false tip. So now we're in this dark cave. We emerge. There's like light shining in from the top of this rock formation. You see there's some kind of like weird dead thing, like bones or something. And there's like a rock path that kind of curves around the middle of those like kind of like baby dragon bones of a dead dragon. And the rock, there's like a pathway that goes around, curves around the side of the inside of this big rock formation, and there's a tent down at the bottom. The area is massive, though I could expect nothing less considering the occupants. What's at the bottom? An underground lake?
Look!
Hey, look, that's a hut on the other side, on the other shore of the lake. So basically, there's a lake with bones in the middle, and then yeah, we can walk along the shore, and on the far end of the lake, we see a hut. It looks more like a tent, actually. So he really has been living here. No wonder no one's been able to catch him yet.
However,
Something is amiss, though. If that is truly his hideout, how might he keep his victims here once kidnapped?
look.
This place must be home to countless monsters. A child would not survive even half a day. Now that you mention it, you've got a point. This doesn't seem like the kind of place where you can hide a lot of people. Then we'll drag the truth out of him. For now, let's check the place out.
I'm heading out.
So we've got lots of these.
If you see use for it, I say take it with you.
Though they're a little bit stronger than the ones we've encountered before. We've got the bones, like piles of bones we can knock over that might have treasures in them. We take what we can find as we head around. We can avoid the monsters here.
It shouldn't be anything we can't handle. We'll be okay.
There's some bones.
There they go! Nice! I bet we'll find a use for that.
Monsters are chasing us, but we're just gonna keep going. Because we've got more
We've shaken them.
things to do.
It ought to be safe now.
Nice find. Looks like it could be useful.
Pill. Jump down. And then so we're close to the hut now. We're gonna run over to it. And it is more of a tent.
That should be
Round
it.
tent.
We don't know what's lurking
like-
inside. Stay vigilant,
Looks
everyone.
very much like a tent you'd see out of like a camping story in the old western United States. This should be it. We don't know what's looking. Okay, so this is voiced.
Tracks. Something small crawled here.
Probably the larvae of the giant sandworms, right? This place is bound to be chock full of them. Maybe what happened is that people mistook the human for some subspecies of the sandworms. Not that they're anything alike.
Ugh. Even the memory of being eaten puts a twinge in my nose. I'd rather it stay numb.
Stop fussing over a smell. You'll attract the enemy.
I just heard something. It can't be.
Gallica, which way is the sound coming from?
Shh! Be quiet! No, they're footsteps. Someone's coming this way.
So we got a cutscene here. We see someone's running around us. A sandworm comes for us, and we see all of a sudden we see a slash.
Keep your guard up.
Who's he?
It's coming back!
And we see like a small creature of some kind streaking around. We see slashing.
I think it's gone somewhere.
Are you the man we seek?
Name yourselves.
And we have a
You mean this
Eugief
is
guy.
Heismay?
I didn't expect a Eugief.
He's a Eugief.
Never seen one in the flesh. We're but another lesser tribe the city dwellers don't care for.
We owe you a debt, it seems.
So Heismay's he's a Eugief. He's
A
got
Knight
like
of the
red
Crown,
boots,
are you? Is that why
And
you
he's
knew
got
my
like a-
name?
blue vest kind of around his body, and he's got a katana. Unlike Lena, the Eugief who's in the contest for the crown, who works for the workshop, his hair is blue. He's got like some, looks like black, maybe like tattoos or something on it. And he's got, as a Eugief, he's got like bat wings and large ears. So the Eugief are kind of like, they're like bat people kind of, and big red eyes. He's really short because the Eugief are really short.
Or perhaps you know it from the wanted posters.
Both, actually.
I flee to the furthest depths, and still they pursue me.
Where are the people you kidnapped?
What are you talking about? Suppose there's no point standing around chatting with someone after my head.
That weapon. So he truly was part of the Shadow Guard.
Shadow Guard?
Eyes front. He's a knight to be reckoned with.
Here I come!
So we're
I'll
fighting
not be
Heismay now.
anyone's captive without a fight. I'll have to provide some less delicate discouragement. No hard feelings. 'Tis best used.
Huh? There's more Heismays?
Now there's 4 of them.
To push me this far. I did not give you enough credit. But against my mirage arts, your strength means nothing.
So, I get the feeling that Heismay's attacks are wavering. Is it just my imagination? So, I really struggled with this when I did this fight last time. So, he clones himself, but only his real self has a shadow. But he's not very big, and if you're not really focused on that, it's very easy to miss. And, you know, if you're someone who doesn't have a lot of vision or none
You
at all,
think yourself equal to a Eugief's agility?
it would be impossible to see. So, but I can see his shadow, so I'm gonna hit him. He's got 4, so the one on the left, the center
Was
left.
luck on your side? Or perhaps. No matter. I can't back down either way. Here I come. Be neither timid nor arrogant. A blunder.
By the
Knight! Oh, shards of ice!
Allow me to use this. I have my method.
Everyone's hit an evasion drill. He just dumped sand down. And his clones are back. This time the version of him that's on the center right. But I missed, so
Let us clean up this mess.
Hack and slash!
I see your game.
I missed both. Alright, because he's got really high agility.
Is that all? Only a flesh wound.
Stroll, your speed's down.
Freeze!
I got him, so his clones are gone.
Wind!
Most impressive. You've some grand cause to fight for, I'm sure. But I have my own. I've no intention of being so easily snared.
Our battle ends here. Right before we knocked him out, he throws the smoke bomb and he disappears.
Where'd he go? He disappeared, just like that.
Even wholly surrounded, too. It is bad enough that he's skilled, but we have an environmental disadvantage here.
But the very first thing he did was save us from a human, right?
So it seemed. Had he not stepped in, he'd be rid of us, and not have to bother exposing himself. A passing, strange choice for a supposed amoral scoundrel.
But we don't know anything for sure yet. Worth noting that the petrification magic didn't kick in either, I suppose.
Our names still mean nothing then. The people's support is not yet strong enough to protect us. 'Tis frustrating, but we must press on.
So now we look at his tent.
Should we investigate the hut in the meantime? Maybe we'll find some clues about the kidnappings.
Good plan. Let's take a look first.
Inside's pretty shabby too. It literally is just like the inside of a tent hut kind of thing. By all appearances, he does live
Let's
here.
do it.
Perfect. Let's see if we can find any proof that he's a kidnapper.
Doesn't it
So
seem
we've
like...
got a small jar.
Huh.
What's this jar? Should we try opening it? Wait, don't. I've seen such a thing on my travels before. The Eugief tribe have a custom of cremating their dead. They store the bones in an urn for burial.
I see.
So this urn, by judging the size of it, these are a child's bones. He'd not go to such trouble for a child he abducted. The his only theory, but I suspect this may be his own child.
And so,
He is but a fallen knight, and has a price on his head besides. Under such circumstances, he would not be able to manage a proper burial.
Really?
So his tent has all these carpets on the floor, and then, you know, we can't really see out. He's got some tables and stuff in here, some boxes and various things.
This
We
is...
found, is this a letter?
The
It says
what?
to Papa, thank you for always working so hard. I hope you and Mama stay in love forever. Sounds like the writing of a child. If they managed that much script, they must have been well educated. Well, this letter written to Heismay? I wonder if the kid saw him as a good father.
mayhap.
Cloth wrapped package.
Look.
Look, all these things have been bundled in multiple layers of cloth.
Indeed.
Fairly tightly at that. It doesn't seem like anything would break if one were to drop it.
Hey,
Now that I look around, everything in this room is bound up in cloth, even the floor and walls. Is it necessary to go to such things? Strange, the more I think about it.
Strange.
I got one other thing here, over here.
Yes.
It's a pendant. There's the mark. It's the Shadow Guard. He was a knight. I suspect as much when we learned that he was a Eugief. But now, is this a different group than the one you were in Hulkenberg?
The truth is,
Titles and honors go to Clamar or those who resemble them enough. Other knights work in their shadow. Their duties lesser.
I get it now.
Hence the Shadow Guard, the discrimination even among the knights, so much for our civilized age.
Even
It
so.
says, the Shadow Hulkenberg, the Shadow Guard go unseen in the public. Pariahs, all their only focus is skill, and Heismay, he must be dangerously skilled.
So apparently...
I suppose he's been through his own share of woes, but there's nothing to clear him with the kidnapping charge. We'll just have to hear the truth.
but
But can we catch him? Even catch him? He's fast enough to run
No.
circles around us. A direct confrontation would be difficult. Would that he had some weakness we could exploit. We need to make this countering. Maybe there are some clues in this hut. There's a lot of cloth. Tilde. There's a lot of
this
cloth.
place.
A lot of cloth.
Right.
in here. That struck me as well. There's surely some reason. Why does Heismay have so much cloth resin? To dampen the noise, to block out the light, extra bedding. It's also to dampen the noise. Maybe it helps dampen the noise. Noise, that's
Hey.
it. Do you think those big ears of his are just for show? He's bound to be much more sensitive to sound than we are. And that's how he lives. That's how he lives here so safely, I'd imagine. In a cave where sound echoes, it'd be easy for him to hear when the
I
humans
see.
talk. I see. So the cloth is a measure against unnecessary noise. Indeed, I've heard it said that the Eugief have excellent night vision and sensitivity to sound. So if we make noise so loud that even we can hardly stand it,
Nice.
worth a shot. So our characters come out of the hut
Right then.
and
Let's get this plan underway.
they pull pots and pans out and
Heismay!
they start
Come on!
banging them together.
Show yourself!
wow, that's some crazy echo.
Kind of nice getting to let loose. Long as I'm yelling anyway.
Luis! You think you're so bloody untouchable, you bastard?
Hey! Big ugly sandwormy human thing! Even Hulkenberg wouldn't eat you!
Gasp! Rejected by Hulkenberg! The ravenous, all-devouring she-beast of the Knight's Order!
Is this what
Hulkenberg
we've
didn't like
come
that
to?
one.
Saying whatever's on our minds? Well, so be it.
Kanika! The sound of your wings keeps me up at night! Stroll, you think you're so smart!
You could probably shout something. Stroll, be more careful. Gallica, be nicer to me. Hulkenberg, ... exclamation point.
Hulkenberg, you're... I am absolutely not old-fashioned or stubborn!
Enough! Stop this infernal din!
Heismay falls down.
What do you think would happen if that monster showed up without my ears working? You'd all be dead. Is this blasted bounty that important to you?
Here's our guest of honor at last. It was never about the money. Children are missing. We can't just ignore a kidnapper.
Kidnapper? I see now. As you were saying before, they've named me a kidnapper. A monster preying on children.
If the charges are false, I would hear it. In truth, even I've come to doubt the allegations.
And why's that, Lady Knight?
You've lost a child yourself, haven't you? I cannot imagine a parent who has endured such pain would kidnap children, much less sell them off.
Hold on. I can't trust a man who does nothing but flee. The people responsible for my home burning. Zorba, who forced the dead to fight on his behalf. Anyone who can't face reality themselves is capable of any low.
True enough. If we lived in a world where words alone proved us just, I'd not be living in this infernal cave. I'm sorry, but I won't go to the gallows before I've even honored my son's death. If you'll not leave me be, then we decide this another way.
So you're finally ready to fight us properly?
Draw steel.
Nope, now I gotta fight him again.
If I'm to take your life, I'll not do it from the shadows. But if you refuse to retreat, then ready your blades.
I'll see him. We
We have our reasons for not backing down. Hope you don't think hiding's enough to make us give up and leave.
Here I come. I'll use this.
So he goes back to his cloning ability. I feel hesitation in his Heismay's attacks. Could he be wavering about delivering a fatal
Not getting away this time!
Scour!
So, you saw through my illusion. Even so,
I call upon royal power within!
So it's just the same as the first fight. You have to attack the version of him that has the shadow.
tis best you. Slash!
Dark sword.
I wonder if there's some way to tell them apart.
In the... hack and slash!
Blunder!
Not done yet.
For all that we strive for!
Now he's bending over because he's not doing so good.
Die!
I won't hold back!
Scour!
We took him out.
Then my fight ends here. What are those strange powers you possess?
Good. Tista.
I feel stronger.
Double down on luck here since I was way
I feel
behind
stronger
him.
already.
Ha! I have never known such heights.
How'd you
Now he's
cast
bending
spells
over.
without igniters? What was that?
We'll have our answers first. Did you really kidnap all those people from the castle town?
Look around you, lad. Where would I keep the victims? Besides, I'm but one man. Kidnapping on the scale you suggest would be damn near impossible.
You're saying you were framed? This case even reached the capital, you know. Why would anyone pin such horrors on an innocent man?
Innocent is more generous than most of the world sees me. A Eugief drifter, a disgraced knight condemned by the Sanctists. What couldn't they pin on me? They cast me out, stripped my titles, and put a price on my head. They would even refuse me the right to mourn my child.
And thus, you held back against us, didn't you? You never intended to take our lives. Or perhaps you could not bring yourself to kill a young man.
Just didn't want to make a mess I'd have to clean up.
What do you think? Is Heismay really our kidnapper?
I don't think he's the culprit. Yes, he's the culprit. I'm not sure. I'll say I don't think he's the culprit.
I don't think he's the culprit.
I agree. That being said, it is also hard to imagine the town maintaining a groundless bounty so faithfully. It was the Holy Lady who named the price, and the guard captain who thereby took it to the capital. To end this as a case of mistaken identity would disgrace their word.
You think they must have had a reason to suspect him then? So, what's really going on here?
Sounds to me like between the Guard Corps and Heismay, one of them could be lying. Remember when we first arrived? We almost got killed by a beast they told us would be asleep.
You cannot be suggesting the Guard Corps set us up. Absurd! No, it defies all reason. They went to such lengths to place the request.
So you think I'm the one lying, do you?
Like I said, we don't make assumptions. If there's anything else you know, we're listening.
You're a strange lot. Fine. Investigate this as you see fit. And if you think I'm guilty by the end of it, put me in chains. What's the matter? Never tied up a captive before?
Give it a rest, old man. You'll make a better guide than a captive. Otherwise, the human makes a meal of us, and nobody wins.
A strange lot indeed. And... oh, my God, a foul-smelling one to boot.
Ugh, don't remind me.
So now it's nighttime on July 3rd. We're back on
Sorry,
the
but you'll have to bear with
Gauntlet
us.
Runner.
Don't mind me.
If the charges prove false, you should be cleared. Still, we'll have to find a new head to be judged for the competition.
Then we'll just find whoever's actually behind it and have their head instead. Let's contact Barden tomorrow, but we'll keep quiet about Heismay. Can't tell if we can trust the guardsman yet.
What are we going to do with Heismay tonight? We can't exactly set him up at the inn.
Steady on! You're not leaving me to watch our bounty alone!
Fine. Then Neurus and I can both watch him tonight. Better us than risking our candidate, I suppose.
Never would have guessed that the bounty hunting was part of this plan to take the throne. And further, you've a Lady of the Knighthood with you. Not to mention command of a Gauntlet Runner. I sense there's more to this story, hmm?
I'll say it's a long story.
It's a long story.
It is even stranger that the youngest of you is the actual candidate. Still, I suppose I can see why they'd put their trust in you. But now the throne's in anyone's reach, eh? Suppose the king's magic wasn't just a myth. Well, hardly matters to an old codger like me. No telling if I'll even live to see the next king crowned.
This is all jolly cheerful. And I'm to be stuck between these two old goats the whole night.
Don't blame me, lad. You volunteered.
Those are some sharp ears. We should probably watch our words in here.
What a terrible day. I hope Nearest and the others are okay. All we can do now is get some rest and get ready for
Gone to shite, this ass.
Oh, we're just gonna go to bed now. We go back into the room. You worried about Heismay? I know how you feel, but so you can go to bed. Should I turn in for the day? I'll say let's rest.
Good night.
Rest well.
Time marches on, and the age of a new king draws nearer.
July 4th, Medals Day.
I dreamed we were being chased around by a horde of giant sandworms. I barely got any rest at all. I hope Heismay behaved himself in the Gauntlet Runner. We should go check on him later. We also need to get some information out of Barden. But how do we even bring it up?
Are you awake? Barden just sent word. A few children disappeared in the night.
Wait, but Heismay's in the Gauntlet Runner, right? If he's still bound there, that basically proves he's innocent. But if he's not, we need to get to the...
runner now. Eurus is drunk.
Where's Stroll?
Well,
Speak, man. Are you all right? Where's Heismay? What happened here? Oh, he reeks of alcohol. Eurus, you old sot, don't tell me you drank yourself to sleep.
Heismay was blathering on about some things I found rather unnerving. So I had a little sup of the spirits to calm the nerves.
Wow. What a mess.
You witless... Maybe some cold water will wake you up, and if that water's not fixed yet, you're really in it! Ah!
and then Heismay walks in.
Now, what's all the commotion?
Ah, that was it! He kept scaring me, so I stuffed him into the lavatory to shut him up.
He says that like it makes sense. Does it make sense to you?
You can say, not in the slightest, don't look at me, or does he try this? I'll say, not in the slightest.
Not in the slightest.
Anyway, one thing's for sure. Heismay was tied up the whole time, so he never set foot outside, right?
What's all this about frightening Eurus? I cannot imagine you suddenly felt compelled to share ghost stories.
I heard some strange sounds last night. I could tell they were footsteps, but not any I recognized. If it had anything to do with the disappearance of the residents, it could prove my innocence. That's why I spoke up.
I don't think he's lying. With all that fog, I couldn't find the source of the footsteps, but I found plenty of something else. Children's shoes. It was after midnight. No time for children to be out and about. I had the shoes checked at the guard station, and it looks like they belong to the missing children.
Then 'tis likely those footsteps belong to your true culprit.
Stroll had like a child's boot on the floor.
But the guard said no one left town last night.
Nobody left? But that must mean the culprit is...
I'll say inside the town.
Inside the town?
Logically, yes.
If that's the case, I'd like to talk to Barden, but how much of this should we share with him?
If you ask me, it's time to lay out all you know. Taking me with you might help your case, too.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves. To bring you before the very man responsible for the bounty on your head. I trust I need not illustrate the risk.
Risk or not, the real culprit's likely one of their own. If you hide me, they'll accuse you of harboring a known criminal. You all had it right. It's time I faced reality. A life on the run leaves no room for me to truly mourn my son.
Heismay.
Whatever the case, let's meet with Barden.
So we're up at the castle now. We see
I must
Barden
say,
and
I
Morris.
couldn't hope you'd capture him so swiftly.
Morris kind of has like a worried look on his face.
Something
says
wrong?
nothing.
You don't look well. Got a face like you've just stumbled upon a dead man.
No, it's nothing. Just surprised you caught him.
Aye, you have my thanks. Clearly, we were right to trust you. You'll get your payment in full.
Before that, I want to ask you one question. Why was Heismay the only suspect in this case?
One of the guard witnessed him firsthand. Go on, Morris, tell him.
On the night of the kidnappings, I spotted a Eugief bolting into the wilderness. Several times. No mistaking a squat figure like that. I'm telling you, what are the chances of there being 2 Eugief brigands in the area?
What did you say?
Strange. I don't recall the kidnapper's tribe being listed on the bounty poster. Even the captain seemed surprised, yet you alone knew this.
He's obviously our culprit.
Most strange. Heismay was already in our custody yesterday. In other words, the kidnappings of last night cannot be his doing.
Is this true?
Captain, I'm one of yours, aren't I? You're not gonna trust this little red-eyed bastard over me, are you?
There's also the testimony from the guard at the gate. He reported no one coming or going from the city.
You scabby bounty hunters think you can mock the guard corps like this? Just take your damn blood money and get the hell out of here!
Fine, fine. Keep your hair on. We'll get to the bottom of this eventually.
Is there a problem here? Barden, may I interrupt?
No problem, ma'am.
Was that? Did you hear it, lad?
Say no, I heard nothing.
No, I didn't hear anything.
Now I see your game, you fiends.
He jumps up out of the...
He's gone!
Out of the rope.
Heismay!
Find him! Secure the exits! Don't let him escape!
No good. He's nowhere to be found. What's gotten into Heismay?
I got the impression he sensed something. If he'd meant to escape, he would have done it yesterday.
I think Barden's innocent in all this. The real scumbag here is Morris, his second in command. He framed Heismay with a false eyewitness testimony. Must have figured an exiled Eugief would be a perfect scapegoat.
So Morris, a would-be guard of the people, has been kidnapping the residents and selling them off.
Could be. And there's also those footsteps that old Heismay heard in the night.
Norris is bound to have sobered up by now, right? Let's see how things are outside and get back to the runner.
Are you coherent yet? I didn't take you as the sort to fall so hard into your cups.
Ah, well, an icy bath like that would freshen anyone up.
And tell us again what happened last night. It may be our only clue to tracking down the real culprit.
Ah, bloody hell. Yes, it's coming back a bit. It wasn't just Heismay's reports that shook me. No, I saw something. It was right after I slung Heismay into the bathroom. Out the window, I saw some massive shadow moving through the fog. It wasn't any beast or man of this world. It was a dark messenger, I tell you. A specter from the very bowels of hell. It was like the horrors of every fairy story from my schoolboy days sprung to Stygian life. I was shaken, chums. Shaken to my core. I cried out for help, grabbed for something to steady myself, and all I found was the bottle.
There. You're all right now.
Even if there is some monster behind this, how would it connect with Morris? I don't see why he would be compelled to hide this to the extent of framing Heismay.
True. Let's try investigating the lady's old castle. Heismay's bound to have a reason for bolting off like that.
So now we're outside the castle, the gate's shut. No good. They said they haven't found Heismay yet, so they can't remove the blockade from the gate. Sounds like he's got them on a wild goose chase. What of our plans then? Should we just sneak in? Oh, over there. It sounds like...
Evidently.
Just coming from over there. Is he calling for us? It's Barden. Barden's with Heismay. Why is Heismay with you? The guard at the gate said they'd not found him.
Good to say,
I'm the captain of the guard, and I have a responsibility to truth it. No one uphold it. That's what this is about.
What folly.
Could have avoided all this trouble if you just lopped my head off to start with. Oddballs, the lot of you. Why'd you run off so suddenly?
The truth is...
I did some investigating inside. The moment Lady Joanna cracked the door to the room, I heard the sound of a child's scream. And Lady Joanna is, well, she is childless. Whatever you heard, it cannot have been her own family. No child could get into such a heavily guarded castle unnoticed. Your kidnapper has to be within these walls. My money's on Morris being the weasel. He lied to our faces trying to get us to walk into the jaws. voice. No way. I cannot suffer him to kidnap any more innocent children. Please, will you help me put an end to this evil? I have no one else to turn to.
Yeah.
Of course. After all, we can't use your head for the competition. We'll need a replacement anyway. We're in right. Will Asil, of course.
Huh?
Of course we'll help you.
I'm in your debt.
In your debt.
And so?
Seemed to us like no kidnapper could get the victims into the castle on our watch, not under
But
all our
then-
noses. But there's an old underground tunnel that even the castle guards didn't know about, and Heismay is the man who found it. There'd be plenty of places to hide hostages down there. Morris may have known about it as well. Right under the lady's mansion. That's bold. Okay, let's get to work.
Is that right then?
You should be able to get there from the Blind Whale Alley at the end of Cattle Racket Road. I've got to return to my post, but I'm counting on it. So. Well, leading to an underground channel. Everyone's already headed to the Blind Well Alley. We can get there by following the Cattle Racket Road, so let's get there when you're ready. So we're just gonna go there right now. And they start us off right near it, so we don't have to wander around the city trying to find it. We see a well, and we've got all of our characters here: Heismay, Hulkenberg, Stroll, and more.
However,
I did not expect there to be an underground channel. It is no wonder the traces of the kidnapper couldn't be found. The children are beneath. Let us hurry. Let's talk to Heismay.
Let's go.
I can hear the kidnapped children screaming underneath. We must help them. And then Stroll.
Is this the place?
So this is the entrance to the underground channel. If Morris is the culprit behind all this, he's probably lurking somewhere ahead. Let's go in. If we can catch him with the children, he won't be able to talk his way out of it. So we're going to head down. So this is the old well that Barden mentioned. You should be able to get down to the underground channel.
Ready?
Kidnapped children should all be in here. Are you ready? Are you all prepared? I'll say let's go. Let's hurry. We jump down.
However,
Kriegant Castle. So we're in like an underground stone tunnel. It's kind of like
Keep your wits
got
about
pillars
you.
periodically with arches, but it's overall like a rectangular shaped tunnel. There's kind of like green mist in it because we're underground, and maybe like almost like a sewer system under the city castle.
Come on, get the bait moving already. That thing goes out of control. We'll be dinner.
And they've got a cart with a bunch of kids knocked
can't
out
run from us.
on it.
Please. Help.
the child yet lives.
Out of your jurisdiction now, aren't you? You're trespassers down here. And that means anything that happens to you is your own damn fault.
If you've got something to say it to our faces. Even you must feel the weight of what you've done.
Eyes up. Something stirs in the back.
We see a bunch of wolves.
Are these the monsters we heard about?
No, further back. 'Tis the footsteps in the night.
The bigger that beast back there grew, the more its watchdogs started changing with it. One of them's gonna make a million.
What has been happening here? Why do you kidnap the residents?
Why? Because premium bait's worth a fortune. I couldn't live on the wages of a guardsman forever.
You kidnap children for money? You utter scum!
This from a bloody-eyed Eugief. Look to your own sins, sir. You weren't just stripped of your knighthood. You were exiled. You're a coward who's been living in the hole you deserve. Didn't pretend you can play it justice now. You vile!
No, 'tis true in part. Tis why I stand here now. I ran from my past and turned away from my pain.
Starts
You
walking
prey on
forward.
innocent lives. Your sin will be repaid. Yet I cannot condemn you alone. Not when I could not see past my own suffering. Not when I locked myself away to be alone with my pain.
O lodestar, who falters in memory, O thou anguished traveler. Thy long stagnant stance hath finally
He's standing
been
in
broken.
the sanctum.
Now
thing.
choose thy path.
Choose. My choice is already made. You can't erase your past. All you can do is take it in hand and reshape your future.
Thank you. Thou hast chosen a noble parting. Henceforth, thy fears and insecurities are thy light. O Lodestar, whose light reveals the king's own path, awaken.
And he opens up his arms, his wings. Pulls out. He's like upside down, hanging off a tree branch. He pulls out his heart, and he flies on down. Because Eugief can glide. They can't really fly, fully fly.
I believe the arc of life depends not upon birth. By these hands, soiled or sinless, I fight!
Emerges out with his own armor. It's like bronze colored. He's got like baggy kind of pant legs. His center is a little more exposed.
Apologies.
Helmets.
But I cannot do this alone.
Is like very much like a
Go!
Pointed.
Rip them apart!
And we've got our disgusting demon dogs coming at us.
God! Morris, you will not escape me! Out of my way, fiends!
What's going on? He just started fighting with us. And even he awakened to his power.
Perchance 'tis through your influence that this power passed to him, Captain?
Oh, is this what Moore was talking about?
Young man, you seem the most adept with this magic. I will strike at your direction, if you might spare it. Rest assured, I once stood among the Shadow Guard, and the years have not dulled my edge.
I can use Dark Sword, which is a physical attack slash that can inflict Forget, Steel, or Mudo, which is a dark magic. So I'll just use Dark Sword.
Slash!
Critical hit! Heismay's a real
Fight is power. Wind!
I'll cut you down!
Night! Freeze!
Let all power of kings!
But the dog, these dogs are demon dogs, and they're like green with like red, glowing red eyes.
Royal Soul!
As Morris said, the dogs have mutated along with a lot of the other monsters down here. We got an unscathed triumph, which is always a nice thing. Heismay's archetype starts at level 4. And Morris and his goons run away. And then they raise up a gate to block us.
Damn! The bastard got away!
But the children are safe.
Good. You saved them, Heismay.
You know that I used to have a child of my own. My son. He was killed. I could not even protect my own flesh and blood. Who could call me a knight?
Elkenberg is kind of surprised at
Since
that,
then,
but says nothing.
I've wondered what I had left to live for, and found few answers.
Is that why you lived in such a dangerous place? That you might be...
We need to chase down Morris first. He said something kind of weird back there, didn't he?
Regarding the watchdogs, he said they gradually turned more horrific the more the monster grew.
Do you think that's the effect of the melancholia? I expect anything further in will be even more malformed then.
But why root all this in the basement of the lady's own domain? Clearly, someone is invested in Morris's efforts. But who would finance this?
I can't say for certain. Still, from the very beginning, this has felt beyond the realm of any sane, moral person.
And to think this started as a simple bounty contract. We've set foot in something far bigger, I think.
Let's get these poor youngsters back to Baden for now.
And we rank up about 350 spots. After saving the children, I can expect my sport from the townspeople to grow.
You saved the wee ones' lives. We can't thank you enough.
He meets us on the runner. I'll say we're grateful to you.
It was thanks to your help, too.
I know this is difficult to hear, but Morris had a hand in this the whole time. He confessed as much to us.
Aye. I found out the man's been struggling to pay off all manner of gambling debts. I'll round up the guard and search the whole bloody castle for him.
I'm sorry, but I'm afraid you'd be outmatched. However, it would be a great help to us if your guards could prevent anyone from leaving the grounds.
Considering everything, I can't help but think the Lady Joanna's got to be in on this somehow.
But the woman is a respected sanctoress. Besides which, she's the one who funded the initial request.
I'll tell you this. Hard as we've looked, we can't find a sniff of Lady Joanna herself.
We're here for our own reasons. Whoever we find down there, we're not going to stay our blades. Any objections?
None for me. Do as you will, and I'll trust in Lady Joanna's innocence. Indeed, for all we know, the culprit may be holding her hostage.
In order to break the prince's curse, I'll need to make an impression during the tournament. Must accomplish something that would catch Luis's eye. Besides, I think we're the only ones who can handle getting to the bottom of this, and we'll do it not just for ourselves, but for the town as well.
I too have a score that needs settling. I cannot let these atrocities continue, especially not in my name. I believe in you.
Heismay, a traditional warrior burdened by his past, has become your ally.
Considering we're due in Oceania in a matter of days, we've little time to tarry here.
Our foes may be strong, but they're also trapped like rats in the basement. We'll use the old well to get in and out.
I left Heismay to calm down a little on the gauntlet runner as he wished. Decided to return to the inn with everyone else.
Gotta keep at it.
So we're gonna rest for today, and then once the new operation starts up, that'll be it for this video. Should I turn in for the day? I'll say let's rest.
Good night.
Rest well. Late night. Maybe because so much happened, I'm finding it hard to sleep. Maybe I'll go back to the Gauntlet Runner and read in the evening. So my character's reading. He's reading the book.
Can't sleep, lad? As it happens, I'm a bit restless myself.
On the deck, and Heismay comes out to talk
Got
to
a
us.
novel there? Don't see many carrying those around. Bit of an odd question, but what's your real aim as a group?
I'll say we're just a group of stragglers. I can't tell you just yet. I'll say we're a secret organization.
To tell you the truth, we're a secret organization.
Really? Well, you're not very organized for an organization. In any case, suppose it's not my place to ask. Don't worry, lad. Just water. Back where I grew up, there was nobody like you lot. Just Eugiefs. We've never been accepted by other tribes, and 'tis no mystery why. We're nocturnal, we look worlds apart, and there's so few of us. Not enough for any political sway. Our elders only ever thought of short-term alliances, loyalties changeable as the wind. We relied on their power, not ours, and resigned ourselves to that. Oh, I loathed it. Even as a child. I hadn't been cowed into considering myself lesser. I honed my skills, that the city's majority might accept me. And I'll not say it was fruitless. I was accepted into the knighthood of the royal capital. I felt like my fellows and strangers alike accepted me as an equal. fool that I was. They never really wanted me among the true knights. Just in the Shadow Guard, where my deeds were dirtier and kept secret. Equal and lesser in the same breath. Ultimately, once my superiors realized I wouldn't abide their self-serving orders, they stripped me of the title I'd fought for. And little by little, I lost everything else. My son died. I'd failed to protect him. And despite everything I felt, I'd resigned myself to being powerless. Just like the damned elders I'd hated so much. But you know, you lot have helped me realize something. I'd thought for a long time that if I wanted to feel accepted, instead of being the eternal outsider, I'd need power, status, some mighty patron nobody could defy. I wasn't really looking to swear myself to some superior. I only wanted not to be alienated for who and what I am. I just needed allies. Friends.
So I'll say from now on, we're friends.
And from now on, we're friends.
A free spirit, are you? It'll be my pleasure, then.
We shake hands.
The aloof hermit, Heismay. Within him dwells the virtue of the thief. Nurture thy bond with him, and a new power yet slumbering within thee may awaken.
New bond. Rank 1.
Perhaps our fates are bound somehow.
The thief is on one of the legs on Moore's little person guy. I can sense the heroic embodiment of the thief from Heismay. You now study the thief in academia. Try seeing what new powers await you.
If my boy was still alive, he'd be about your age. Though he'd look absolutely nothing like you, of course. Long as we're both awake, might I have a look at that old novel of yours?
I love Heismay. He's a really great character. So we open up the book again, and it's a picture of people reaching out to each other.
So, this is a fantasy novel.
They're a bunch of hands reaching out to each other of different sizes, skin colors, and different ages of life. So you got, you know, wrinkly old hands, young children's hands, middle-aged hands, you know, prime adult hands, of all different skin colors.
This section seems to describe the Utopia's approach to discrimination. Let's see here. In this world, discrimination and inequality are forbidden by law. It is a sin to impose injustice due to one's appearance, lineage, or birth. This is the accord established between the people and the state. Well, well. What a world that would be. I don't imagine our land will get there for another century or 5. Still, I cannot help but wonder whether those ideals would please an entire population. You cannot pretend at diversity without acknowledging individual differences. Some will be judged as strong, while others marked as weak. Equal competition doesn't mean equal footing. Their very aims of freedom and balance could spell doom for the striving weak. I wonder how we might ever achieve a true utopia, where everyone could be happy. If this awakened power is meant to be wielded in service of my beliefs, then, no matter who calls it naive or foolish, I will always use it to save the weak.
These scenes where you read the book are so great because they really give us a moment to stop and think about how close our actual society is to the way this book is describing a society like the one we live in. It was getting late, so we decided to get back to the inn to sleep.
Time marches on, and the age of a new king draws nearer.
Excellent, we're all here, Hulkenberg says. Today we explore the depths beneath the castle. Use caution as we both Morris and the monsters contend with. If you don't think we can handle this yet, we can go somewhere else and build up our strength first. We still have time to prepare
It's
if we
in
need
your
be.
hands.
Indeed, I have only just been introduced to these new powers. Regardless, I leave the matter in your hands, Captain.
Let's
Mission
focus.
start. Apprehend the real kidnapper. Days left, 12. It's a 4 out of 10. The culprits behind the abductions must be found. It begins by finding the guardsman Morris, but I also need a mark for the exhibition. We must infiltrate Krigate Castle. Alright, a mission with the deadline has begun. Meet up with your allies at the Blind Well Alley to delve into Krigate Castle's underground. Besides challenging the castle, you can also strengthen your party during mission period by taking on requests in town or improving your bond with your followers. Storm the castle and apprehend the true culprit behind the kidnappers before the deadline.
The search begins.
There's something in that.
Really?
We need to head over to Blindwell Alley. From there, we can investigate what's going on in the castle. Today's lots of stores have sales, so it might be a good idea to do some shopping first. All right, so we're gonna save. Thank you so much for joining us again. We've got Heismay on our team, so now we've got a full party of 4. We'll be heading into Krigate Castle in the next video, and we'll be trying to track down Morris, figure out who find the identity of this mysterious beast that's living within the castle, and who it is that is bankrolling Morris's kidnapping operation. Thank you so much again. Have a wonderful day, and we'll be back next time. We hope you join us as we solve the mystery of who is behind the kidnappings. Thank you.